Hey there everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're diving into a cheeky little trick that can supercharge your GitHub profile, almost like strapping a rocket to your commit history. Ever checked out someone's profile and thought, wow, do they ever sleep? Well, after this video, people might be asking that about you. We'll be using a batch script to generate and backdate a bunch of commits, so your GitHub contributions look like they belong to someone who codes in their dreams. But first, a little housekeeping. Please smash that like button to show the algorithm some love, share this video with a friend who enjoys geeky mischief, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because you definitely won't want to miss what we've got planned next. Alright, strap in, grab your favorite snack, and let's get your GitHub timeline looking busier than a coffee shop on a Monday morning. Before we unleash our script, we need somewhere to store all these commits. Think of it like preparing a stage before the rock band shows up. Head over to GitHub, sign in, and click that inviting green new button. Name your repo whatever you like, maybe something like No Sleep Coding or Commitaholics Unite. But feel free to keep it classy with something simple like AS or Commitmaster. Initialize it with a README if you prefer, then create it. Once that's done, take the repo link because, trust me, you'll need it. This fresh repository is your blank canvas for painting a picture of non-stop coding prowess. It might seem innocent now, but soon it'll be bursting with more commits than an over-caffeinated developer at 2 a.m. If you're excited already, stick around. This ride's just getting started. In this tutorial, the star of the show is a bat file, a Windows batch script that strings together commands in one neat package. Think of it like a conveyor belt that does everything for you, from staging changes to pushing them to GitHub. If you've never used a batch script before, don't worry. It's friendlier than it sounds, and it doesn't judge your commit messages, even if they're spelled wrong. You'll need Git installed on your machine for this to work. No Git, no glitzy commit show. If you're missing it, head over to gitscm.com and grab the installer. Once Git is ready to roll, open up a terminal or command prompt, navigate to the folder where you want to keep your local copy of this brand spanking new repo, and type git clone https github.com/your username git. Make sure you replace your username and your repository with your actual details. Once it's cloned, place our bat file into that folder like you're slipping a secret ingredient into Grandma's famous cookie recipe. Now everything's in place for automated commit mayhem. Ready? Take a deep breath, because next we're diving into the script itself, where the real magic, or mischief, happens. Don't worry, I'll keep it fun and easy to follow. Let's crack this open, shall we? Alright, time to roll up our sleeves and get cozy with some code. Below is our batch script. Think of it like the script to a blockbuster movie, except instead of explosions, we have lines of code that'll bend your GitHub timeline. I've replaced any personal details with placeholders, so just pop in your own paths and info where needed. Let's unpack this with a hearty dose of storytelling. We begin by telling the command prompt to stop being so chatty, @echo off. Think of it like telling your overly talkative friend, hey, hush for a sec while I work my magic. Next, we stroll into the correct folder, cd/path to your repo. This is where all our Git shenanigans will unfold. Set local, enable extensions, enable delayed expansion. Sounds complicated, but it's basically flipping the advanced mode switch so our script can handle variables inside loops without having an existential crisis. Then we choose our time travel window, from 2021 to 2024. That's a neat 3-year span of commits we're about to plant in your GitHub garden. Feel free to tweak those years if you want to look like you've been coding since the dawn of time, or maybe just last year. After that, we define a batch of commit messages, from bug fix to reorganized project structure. Think of them as random fortune cookies. Each time the script decides to commit, it cracks open a new fortune cookie and uses that message. Because repeating the same one over and over screams robot. Now come the triple loops, 4L figs Y, which basically tell your script to walk through each year, every month, and up to 28 days in each month. Why 28 days? Because it's simpler than teaching your script about months with 30, 31, or leap years. If you're up for the challenge, go for it, but 28 is a sweet spot for minimal head scratching. Inside those loops, we generate a random number, freak. If that number is less than 3, we commit. If not, we skip. On average, that's around 3 days of commits out of 7. Perfect for avoiding a suspicious daily streak. No one codes every single day. At least, that's what we want everyone else to believe. Whenever it's commit time, we jot something new into activity text. That's the change Git sees. No changes, no commits. This file becomes your tiny notepad of random lines, each marking a new commit day. We also snag a random commit message from our earlier array, like rummaging through a bag of mixed candies. Because if you always commit update code or fix issue, someone might raise an eyebrow. The real showstopper is date equals 66Y, 66M, 66D. This is how we tell Git, pretend this all happened on April 10th, 2022 at noon. And Git happily replies, sure buddy, whatever you say. Finally, after all the pseudo time travel commits, we push them to GitHub in one big burst. Git push origin main. That's when you can watch your timeline magically fill up, as if you've been quietly toiling away for years without telling anyone. The subroutine set commit message is just a pit stop for picking out which of those messages we're going to use. If something goes wrong, we fall back to a default message. No code meltdown, just business as usual. And there you have it, your personal time-traveling commit machine. Even Doctor Who might be jealous. To run this mischievous masterpiece, just double-click the bat file in Windows or open a command prompt in the folder and type commitscript.bat. Watch in awe or mild amusement as the script churns through each date, deciding whether to commit based on our random logic. This might take a while, especially if you're spanning multiple years. So sit back, sip your coffee, and maybe do some real coding in another window while you're at it. 2 birds, 1 stone. Once the script finishes its epic journey, open your GitHub page and marvel at the digital tapestry of commits that now graces your profile. You've essentially built a time machine for your code contributions. Good job, future Lord of Commits. Now you're probably thinking, wow, my GitHub activity graph looks like a rainforest of green squares. Yes, indeed, it's mesmerizing, but let's keep a few things in mind. Curiosity versus professionalism. This is a fantastic trick if you just want to experiment or show off. But if you're actually building projects or sending links to potential employers, remember that real, meaningful commits are what truly matter. Quality beats quantity every time. Don't overdo it. If your commit graph suddenly shows daily commits for 3 years straight, on weekends, holidays, and at 4 a.m., people might get suspicious. Embrace the random skip days to maintain plausible deniability. Office politics, if your boss wonders why you apparently wrote hundreds of lines of code on your vacation, it might be time to come clean, or feign ignorance and blame a glitch. But hey, I'm not responsible for any awkward water cooler conversations. Ultimately, it's a fun project to learn about batch scripting, randomization, and Git's lesser-known features. Consider it your GitHub party trick, not your main act. Though if you do get cornered by your manager, just say, this is purely for science, and back away slowly. Works like a charm. Sometimes. So there you have it. We created a new GitHub repo, cloned it locally, dissected a bat script that backdates and randomizes commits, and finally watched our GitHub graph come alive with activity spanning multiple years. If that's not a showstopper, I don't know what is. If you enjoyed this tutorial, learned something new, or just had a laugh, please take a second to hit the like button. Share this video with your friends, especially that one buddy who's always bragging about his endless commit streak. And if you're not part of our growing community yet, hit that subscribe button to join the fun and stay tuned for more coding tips, tech mischief, and creative hacks. Thanks a bunch for watching, and until next time, may your commits be many and your actual code be even better.